Rise,
Second here.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I don't think Mitch found the disclaimer, but to
The
put y'all
disclaimer,
on notice,
I had it up there, but you should see the agenda now.
in any event, if we have a disruption to this meeting, a hack or otherwise, we'll just send out an email within 10 minutes and we'll reconnect. Do we have any public comment at this time on any of the agenda items, which specifically is the transit portion of the TIP? Does anybody have anything else? Public comment otherwise? If not, we'll just move on to programming. Is Charles online? Yes, he is.
Charles is.
Thank you so much.
I'm very happy.
Charles Bradsky will present on recommendations for transit projects at our 2022-2026 meeting. I appreciate everybody coming to the special meeting so we can continue the discussion on transit for the overall NOFA for 2025-2026. Charles?
Yes. Let me share my screen.
I think you got, let me stop sharing mine.
Can everybody see this screen with the yellow
I see
or the
it.
orange?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at, this is what the request that we received for the transit projects. Group 1, and then at the bottom is Group 2. We just met with the transit operators a few minutes ago. In fact, we are coming, that's why we're coming late to the meeting. There is an issue that is not resolved. And a lot of that has to do with Kathy Luther and I are busy trying to learn transit funding. But it appears to us, and this may not be the case, in 5307 funding, it appears that we have $12,400,000 available, and we are over programmed by $7.7 million in 2025 and $7.6 million in 2026. So there is a question on whether or not transit has to be constrained. I know 2026 highway doesn't need to be constrained, so we could conceivably just leave that off. If you also happen to see that 5337 funds are not constrained, but those funds are only for NICTE. So it's, if NICTE needs to cut something, they will just cut something. They'll just cut whatever they need to make their TIP constrained. I also want to point out, just as in the highway side, our legislators have not given us a highway bill. So we are going on 2021, the same amount of money that we received in 2021 or thereabouts. So that's why that usually we can factor in a 1% or 1.5%, I think is what we were working on before, rise every year. But since we are without a funding bill, all of our amounts are constant. So if we do get a major funding bill, then this could open up the floodgates a little bit. So I was able to, normally when we program funds in transit, we look at operating first. And then second, we look at preventative maintenance. Third is capital projects, capital improvements. And then fourth would be expansion. So we do have some work to do in operating assistance. Those are all 5337 funds. That's where we're over programmed. I was able to get a majority of the buses, those buses, purchase those with 5339 funds or 5310 funds. The only one, I got everybody with the exception of one set of buses, and that was this line here. This is GPTC's purchasing 6 large buses, electric large buses, I should say. And that's $2.2 million a year. So electric buses do cost a little more than the regular buses. But we do have a meeting. We are going to be setting up a meeting with GPTC and Nikki to discuss their projects. We were able to meet with all of the subrecipients, but we were able to meet with everybody except for NICTE and GPTC. So we are going to be meeting with them next week and figuring out their needs and how we can accommodate them, yet try to constrain the tip. Again, 5337 is all NICTE's, with the exception of 2 lines here. That's operating assistance. So this is all NICTE, and if they need to constrain it, they'll constrain it. So that's all I have. Oh, I was able to get buses for Group 2. I purchased buses using CMAQ funds or STBG funds in 2024, 25, and 26. So that's where I was able to get the buses. And then if I need to, I can flex some more funding to transit. But for the most part, this is their split. Transport would get $259,000, and Michigan City Transit would get $731,000, and that constrains the Group 2. So that's all I have.
So we're good to go on Group 2. Group 1 has some issues.
Yes.
Yeah, we had some other changes since we scheduled this meeting, and the NDOT moved the deadline for transit projects out until March 8th. Part of our question was how you all wanted to proceed. We could have you vote on the Group 2, but we still aren't ready on the Group 1. So would you rather vote on all of them, and then we might have to have another special meeting before the 8th? I think that's where we left it. We had hoped we could get all this resolved before today, but that did not happen.
From my
sort of a
standpoint,
procedural question for you guys, I guess.
Yeah. From my standpoint, I think we'd be okay with proceeding with Group 2 and then have another meeting for Group 1 apparently staff deems that necessary. So anybody else, any comments, questions?
Along with what Kevin said.
George, is that a motion? This is Kay.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to to have complete the activities we can do for today and reschedule for the balance of the necessary actions.
So what I'll need is a positive recommendation for Group 2 transit funds today. And then
Okay, I'll make a motion for positive recommendation.
This is Kay Nelson. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Kay. Any other discussion, comments? We need to do a voice vote. Floor, do you have your list?
Yes, I do. Just one moment, sorry.
Thank you.
Go. Okay. Sheila Brilson. Kevin Britsky,
Yes.
thank you. George Topple,
Yes.
thank you. Jim Tunn.
This is Mark Odell for Chester, and
Mark
yes.
Patel. All right, thank you. Frank Rivera,
Yes.
thank you. Dean Button. Michael Griffin. Matt Murphy
Or Mike Jabo.
or Mike Jabo. Okay. David Wright,
Yes.
thank you. Blossom Mabon,
Yes.
thank you. Beth Schrader,
Yes.
thank you. Beth West,
Yes.
okay, thank you. Robin Tillman. Okay. Nicole Barker or Kelly Wenger,
Yes.
thank you.
That was Kelly,
Nelson?
wasn't it?
Yes.
That was Kelly.
Yep, that's Kelly.
Kay Nelson.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a total of 10 yeses.
So moved. When would we like to hold the next meeting? Our next regularly scheduled meeting is the 9th, which is one day after the state deadline. So we obviously need to do something the week before, I would think.
So we have a tentative agreement to try to have the Group 1 transit resolved with the transit operators on the 3rd, but with the 5th as a spillover date in case we can't do it by then. So maybe for this group, if they could have and probably be quick on the 5th.
And
If people are
myself,
available.
I have to be in the morning, probably 10 o'clock Friday, the 5th.
Sarah, this is Kay Nelson. I will not be available in the morning on March 5th.
What about if we had it on the 4th?
Yes.
And then we just made sure that, although I don't know if GPTC
Yeah,
could be here.
GPTC couldn't do the 4th, but if we were fixed on the 3rd, then. But if we're not, then the 4th won't.
Right.
Let's, I can do the 4th for a TPC with a single thing on the agenda. It's just a heavy lifting kind of meeting I didn't want to have on the 4th because of our board meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think all the heavy lifting for GPTC and NICTE will be next week
Yeah.
or tomorrow. And the very latest, we could do it the 8th on Monday, but I advise against that just in case.
Yeah.
You're saying, are we looking at the 5th then?
Oh, I think we were looking at the 4th actually, but
Well, The 4th in the morning is, yeah, I have an afternoon head pedal and paddle.
When's your board meeting, David?
It's in the evening
Oh, okay.
Of what day?
of the 4th.
Thursday, the 4th.
So maybe we should move it back to the 5th. Just to make sure everything's copacetic. Would that make you more comfortable, David?
The 4th or the 5th will work. Who did we say wasn't gonna be able to make it?
Kay Nelson.
Okay. And I mean, I'm good after, I'm open starting at 12 o'clock on Friday the 5th, for the balance of the afternoon.
Could have a 1 o'clock meeting.
Yeah, I've got a meeting from 12 to 3 on Fridays, so
Oh,
Yeah,
lucky you.
so we could do Friday at 10
yes.
without Kay, but it sounds like most of the rest, well, just the people who've spoken.
I'll be able to make it. This is George Topple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Friday at 10 works best for me.
yeah, if there's people that don't, if people have a conflict, they should speak up now.
Let's go ahead and commit to Friday at 10 o'clock.
Friday the 5th at 10 o'clock, okay?
Sorry, Kay, we'll miss you. Always appreciate your attendance, though.
I will do my best. I've been known to split screens here recently, so. Don't tell
The
my boss.
virtual way.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll meet Friday at 10 o'clock for the Group 1 transit projects. And staff will continue to work on it, do the heavy lifting.
Mhm.
Charles and Mitch referred to, and Kathy. Then after that, we will have a TPC meeting March 9th, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. The next executive board meeting is March 18th for the commission from 9 till 11. Then full commission meets April 15th from 9 to 11. Any other announcements?
As I mentioned, Mr. Chairman, Thursday the 4th at 1:30.
Kathy, do you have an EMPC meeting coming up?
EMPC is meeting next on April 1st,
Okay,
which is not a Fool's Day joke, I hope.
you're way
Yeah.
ahead of me.
We'll see what the agenda looks like.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We're adjourned for today. See you all Friday the 5th. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you all for your
Everybody
extra
stay safe
time,
and warm.
for all your
Kathy,
extra time. Thank you.
Take care.
Kathy, this is Kay. If you've got 5 minutes, can you give me a call?